Wildfires continue to rage on in Australia, and the officials estimate those flames have killed over 1 billion animals so far. And that means breeding programs at zoos right here in the Carolinas are more important than ever.
Officials estimate at least an eighth of the koala population has been killed in the wildfires. That means breeding programs like the one at Riverbanks Zoo in South Carolina are crucial. Let's connect the dots. Riverbanks Zoo is just one of 10 in North America that have a breeding program. 18-year-old Lottie has had 11 babies there, and when they get older, they'll be sent to other zoos to continue breeding. This would be especially important if koalas become endangered, and unfortunately, that's a serious risk. The wildfires are destroying their only source of food, eucalyptus trees. Breeding programs like Riverbanks would be used to increase their population. And while we don't know the full impacts yet of the wildfires, we do know zoos like Riverbanks are a crucial piece in the conservation puzzle. And that is Connecting the Dots.